Welcome back to this Real America's Voice Newsbreak. I'm Terrence Bates. President Trump back in New York right now, ready to cheer on Team USA. He'll spend the afternoon at Bethpage Golf Course with his granddaughter for the Ryder Cup match between the United States and Europe. Before leaving the White House, 47 addressed the James Comey indictment, which accuses the former FBI director of lying to Congress as part of the Russiagate investigation.
They weaponized the Justice Department like nobody in history. What they've done is terrible. And so I hope frankly, I hope they're honest. You can't let this happen to a country. It's a pretty easy case because, look, he lied. You saw my truth today. He lied. Yes. So he didn't say, well, in my opinion, he didn't do a lot of things that maybe he should have, but I don't think he could because he lied. That was a very important question that he was asked. And he wanted to be specific, but he didn't. The only thing that happened to him, he didn't think he'd get caught.
The commander-in-chief also making headlines, saying that he believes a deal on Gaza is close to coming to fruition.
I think it's a deal that will get the hostages back. It's going to be a deal that will end the war. It's going to be a deal it's going to be peace. I think we have a deal. That'll be.
President Trump's announcement comes as Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu addressed the United Nations General Assembly today. A number of delegates to the UN walked out in protest before his remarks began. Well, again, as it relates to FBI Director James Comey's indictment, one is for making a false statement. The second is for obstructing a congressional proceeding. President Trump weighed in on Truth Social as well. You just heard him weigh in verbally. On Truth Social, he wrote, "Justice in America, one of the worst human beings this country has ever been exposed to is James Comey, the former corrupt head of the FBI. Today, he was indicted by a grand jury on 2 felony counts for various illegal, unlawful acts. He has been so bad for this country for so long," the president goes on to write. We'll continue to monitor this story throughout.
All right, welcome back to the Charlie Kirk Show. Andrew Colvett, executive producer of this fine show, with Mikey McCoy, Charlie's chief of staff, and Blake Neff, Charlie's travel buddy and quiz partner. I think that's your title now. I just got a note from one of our affiliates in North Dakota. I think it's great. He said, "In my last interview with Charlie, I promised North Dakota would have the highest percentage of high school and college participants per capita in the nation. Let's go." Wow. There's a challenge for you. Texas, Arizona, Wisconsin, California, etc. I agree. I would love to see, let's see which state can be the best turning point state.
Yeah.
I don't know which one it would be. If I had to, I wonder where we're strongest.
Well, we have to make it Arizona.
We have to make it Arizona.
Charlie.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, there's like huge chapters at Clemson and UGA and Georgia. And I mean,
people
Penn
always
State.
complain about there being 2 Dakotas. So maybe one could rename itself to Dakota and the other could name itself Turning Point State.
Oh,
that would be North Dakota. Wait, which one are you from?
I'm from South Dakota. Well, I was born in North Dakota, but raised in South Dakota, so I use that to confuse people a lot.
That is confusing. I think that's great. Thank you, Scott, for sending that. What's our next question? Oh, wait. Caleb and Michelle want to know how Daisy's doing. How's the baby? We've prayed for you. Daisy is doing great. You can just barely start to see. You could.
I don't know. I don't even think you can see it.
No, it depends what she's wearing. You can't see it like today. She's wearing, I don't know. I barely saw her, but you wouldn't notice it. But like, there was one time I was like, hey, you got a little baby bump finally. Like, it's her first baby. So I've had 3. I know how this goes. The first one, you don't show as much, and so she's kind of at that stage. But it's like she's getting close. But baby's good. She'll be 39 weeks at AmFest. She had a wait. Tell everyone I was asked multiple times if I had a stomach ache on stage because I had my hand on my bump. Did you have a stomach ache on stage?
Very big one. A very big one.
Did you eat she goes, no, I'm pregnant. Yeah, because she doesn't look that pregnant. So she's 6 months pregnant and she looks like the same. It's very, anyways, first baby thing. So hopefully that answers it, but she's doing great and she's been an absolute rock star in this time. She's helped keep the team together and handle all the coordination with the teams of people that have come, whether that was Tucker or Megan or Glenn. She was helping coordinate all of that. She's keeping the trains running on time. So she's been amazing. And she's laughing at me. Okay, Zach. Next question, Zach.
Hey, how are you all doing?
Hey, Zach, we're doing well. What's your question?
Yeah, so the biggest thing for me that I've been wondering, especially in light, ever really since Trump was first elected, how do we go about having decent conversations with one another as human beings? There's a lot of, I feel, tension. And I love talking about politics with my friends. A lot of them are poli-sci or economics, whatever it may be. And we get on those topics, but it always seems like we start building the tension, and I'm not really sure how we bring that down when we're in those conversations, how we get back to a human level and really focus on what matters most. And that's, we do love each other at the end of the day. We're brothers. We've been friends for a long time, but how do we navigate those situations?
Does anybody want to take this one? Or
Yeah, Charlie would always ask questions, and he said it was his secret weapon to kind of, if someone was coming in hot,
the
it would
Socratic
calm them
method.
down a little bit. So his first is he would say, well, what evidence do you have for that claim? And that was his first question that he would like to ask to somebody. So asking questions, but then the hardest part is staying true to yourself, because the other side doesn't necessarily come with good intentions in debate. And so they're ready to yell at you or worse. And so doing the Charlie effect is keeping calm, being kind, asking questions, and being the bigger person even when they're not is really kind of the secret weapon there. What do you think, Blake?
Yeah, and I think it's always good. Ultimately you can only control yourself. The rule I always like to remember for debates is, remember, especially if it's in public, you're not just debating the person you're directly opposite. You're sort of debating every single person who is watching, every person who's a witness to it, and as a result, we should always be careful, like, not to disgrace ourselves, not to behave in ways that we'll regret later, because we're a representative of everyone who shares our views. We're representative of our cause. Always remember that, and I think that will always encourage better behavior.
Yeah, and we got to wrap this hour up here, but I would say that Charlie was really good at not dehumanizing the other side. He always treated them as a human being. And even when they don't treat you like a human being, that you could still sort of acknowledge, hey, you're not treating me with respect, but fine, I'm going to still answer your question. Yeah. And Charlie was really good at sussing out good faith, bad faith arguments.
And have confidence. You're a representation of the truth. The truth is on your side. Be confident about it. So,
All right, that's the end of hour one. I think we should take one more in the break. What do you guys think?
I like it.
All right, we'll be back for the stream. Radio will be back in a few minutes. All right, welcome back. We have a question from Chris. Chris, are you there? Guess we're looking for Chris.
We lost Chris.
It's our fault. I threw a curveball at the studio, and so now they have to go find Chris.
We were
Chris,
so close to like a miracle
we were
in
close.
Charlie's honor.
We had the
Every
miracle.
single question, there was no.
Can you hear me?
we got her, Chris. We got her.
Yay! Oh my
Praise
gosh,
the Lord.
I'm so excited. Thank you for taking my call, guys.
Thank you for being here and being a member. We appreciate it.
Wow. I'm just going to read to you what I wrote so that I don't mess it up. I just wanted to thank y'all for working so hard to preserve Charlie's legacy. I understand how important Charlie's relationship is was within the Trump administration. And do we foresee continuing those relationships to further advance the MAGA Maha agenda?
Yeah, I would say, and Mikey, you'd be good to chime in here as well. So I would say one of the fascinating things in the immediate aftermath was just how many people that Charlie was communicating with reached out to our team, to me personally, just to say, hey, I'm here. This is my number. Like, we knew each other, but it was Charlie was maintaining all these relationships, and it was like, we're not going anywhere. Please let us know what we can do. And those relationships have been blossoming and growing, and so those friends of Charlie's in the admin want to maintain their friendships and maintain their connection to the organization, to Erica. I know Erica's had a ton of people that are very, very important people to this country reach out directly and just say how they could help. And I know that she's ongoing having those conversations.
Yeah. Without divulging too much, Erica is daily in contact with many, many, many people inside of the admin. And so she had relationships with a lot of these people, with Charlie, and then also on her own. But there's a podcast that Charlie and Erica didn't hear where one of you guys asked a question. Who's more conservative? Charlie said, Erica's way more based than I am. So in regards to furthering the MAGA Maha agenda, I'd have no worry about Erica Kirk continuing that legacy.
So hold on. The actual quote was, Erica laughed. She goes, Andrew always jokes that you became way more based once you married me. And he's like, oh, yeah, totally. And that was actually a joke that we had because I remember Charlie evolved on a lot of topics. One of the things that we're trying to figure out, we're going to do this kind of like we're going to try and catalog all of Charlie's clips and debates and all of these things. And we are, one of the things I told Erica, I was like, he evolved on so many issues over time that if we're doing a large language model, you need to sort of weight the later opinions more because, he evolved on all of this
ultra-based
stuff. And he got ultra based. Yeah, thanks to Erica. And I think some of us around this table. But no, we have those relationships. And by the way, Maha, we love Maha. RFK has been so kind, and not just RFK, but Junior, but Bhattacharya and some of the other ones that are connected to that, and we want to keep that going. And Alex Clark is obviously a huge proponent of that too.
And I think we have that clip of Erica and Charlie. 305.
305. Let's play it.
My wife joins us, Erica Kirk,
Hi,
the beautiful,
everyone.
legendary Erica.
I love you so much.
I love you.
You're my best friend.
Welcome to the Charlie Kirk Show. We have asked the audience for questions. You pick one.
Who is more conservative and why?
Erica.
Yes.
By far. Not even close. I am a moderate compared to Erica.
Andrew always jokes that once you got married to me, you got more based.
That's true. That is true. No, Erica is very conservative. Do you think having kids made you more conservative?
100%. Which I didn't think was possible. But 100%. Absolutely.
And do you
and a better wife.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, love that.
I've seen all these edits on social media of that clip with this hype music and all these graphics flying on the screen. It's like, I'm more conservative. It's like, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, it's so, she'll continue.
I've seen it like mixed over with the you have no idea what you've unleashed.
Yeah. You have Erica now.
Yeah.
Great. Good.
And by the way, just to reiterate, Erica Kirk will be joining us, I believe, at 1:30 Eastern. I think that's about when she's coming on. So, but again, it's whatever Erica wants to say or do. We have zero agenda other than she told me she wants to tell the audience how much you meant to Charlie and speak directly to people who loved him most. And that was the people that are part of the Charlie Kirk Show family, all across the country and world. I know there's people that I've been getting notes from overseas that are watching our streams, and so that's awesome too. So anyways, Erica's coming. And I don't know if we have any more questions because I'm throwing curveballs at the team, but we have 4 minutes till the next hour if you want to give it a shot. Hold on. These are the notes I'm getting. Do you want to say anything else about Erica? Because you know Erica really, really well because you traveled with Charlie and Erica.
Yeah, she's also very strategic and Charlie is very fast-paced. And he would travel all the time.
She's more measured.
She's more scheduled and measured. So Charlie always had the vision in the long game, and she has that too. But she's like, it's fun seeing her kind of piece it all together and have the game plan.
She's very clear thinking. She's got like a very organized brain. So we have some that are written. Hi, I have 2 questions for the show today, and I've put them below. Thank you. What do you think Charlie would want young Christians to remember most about living in their faith? And what was one of the most powerful moments you witnessed of Charlie living out his faith behind the scenes? I would like to take the second one first. This was a little moment that does not paint me in a great light, but it paints Charlie in a great light, so I will gladly share it. It was about a week before he died, and there was something that was going on. It was just a little annoyance. I can't even remember what it was. I should probably actually go back in the text and figure out what it was because I probably have it. But I just said, why don't we just tell him XYZ? And essentially I was saying, tell a little white lie, it'll make the problem go away. It's no big deal. It wasn't even an important thing. And Charlie wrote back instantly, we don't lie. And it was a really powerful moment for me because it was completely in private. It was completely in secret. Nobody would ever see what he said. And he just said, we don't lie. And the message was implicit. And we means me, it means Mikey, it means Blake. Like, we don't lie at Turning Point.
Yep. And I said this earlier, if we're going to have the truth on our side and we're going to be representatives of the truth, then we're not going to lie. Because if we're going out in public and giving people the truth, and oftentimes that's the gospel, why would the people receiving that message want to receive it from us if in the background we're lying all the time? We have no right to do so.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to take a stab at the first question, my point, what do you think Charlie would want young Christians to remember most about living in their faith? Is that to have courage. Courage is the least common of the virtues. It's the rarest of the virtues. And so to have courage in your faith means that you can be used by God. And what does courage require? I think it requires repentance and it requires honesty. And to be used by God means you have to have faith, right? So you've got to have that. You got to know that God's going to meet you in that moment, and He's going to give you the words. He's going to give you the strength. He's going to give you the ability to do what God asks you to do. So have courage, 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 courage. Speak truth into the darkness. Speak truth into the culture, and don't be afraid. Don't cower. Don't parse your words. Don't give an inch. That will make you a man. That will put spine down your back and in your steel in your spine, and it will make you immovable. And when you're immovable, that was what Charlie was. You could not move him off that mark.
Yeah, it's the cornerstone. Of everything.
So with that, I think we've gotten through our questions, and we are going to share some really great. We're going to share some really never before seen Asia videos that Mikey, I believe, took from the trip just before he got back on the Monday before it happened. So this is really precious stuff. And Mikey and Blake are going to take the wheel. And then Erica Kirk joins us, so don't go anywhere. We will be right back. All right, welcome back to the Charlie Kirk Show, Hour 2. We have a really fun hour in store for you. And by the way, we're going to have a lot more high-profile guests join us in studio next week. We're really excited about that. I cannot tell you enough how overwhelmed I've been by just people that everybody knows in the movement and conservative world especially, but beyond that want to come and be a part of honoring Charlie and coming in the studio and helping us do the show. But today is really fun because Mikey and Blake are going to talk about their last trip with Charlie to Asia.
Yep.
And Mikey, you are now in the driver's seat. The floor is yours.
Yeah. It's crazy to think that was just 3-4 days before Utah. And it was Charlie's dream to always go to Asia. And Blake and I got the gift of being able to tag along for that. And so I brought the camera with me. I've never traveled with a camera before, but I decided, it would be a good idea to mic Charlie up, do some content with him while we're there. And so we put together a little teaser. There's some speeches that are going to be coming out soon, podcasts that are going to be coming out soon. Never before seen, so this is exciting. This is new. But number 292.
Look at you calling shots. There we go.
I'm calling it. This is a little teaser of what's to come from Asia.
Imagine seeing, though, what I'm seeing here tonight, a global movement for freedom. I'm here to bring a message of hope to Japan. For those with political will, determination, and bravery, nothing is impossible. Freedom is not only an American or a Western value, it is a value that belongs to the entire world. We are allies because we all share a common enemy, globalism. They preach a doctrine they call diversity Globalism wants to erase the distinctions that separate different countries and cultures. It takes hundreds of years to build a civilization. It takes one generation of mistakes to throw it away. Protect your freedom and your faith from the evildoers who would destroy it. The best way to fight against tyranny is for good people to stand up.
Blake and I were laughing because the event we did in Korea was
it's so amazing. It was so incredible.
A copy paste of America Fest.
It was called Build Up Korea 2025, and it was so amazing to see. It literally was. They're like, we say, Charlie would want to imitate people who were successful, so we'd learn from people. He would do a lot of the Rush stuff because he's like, well, Rush was successful. So this is people doing the same thing with Charlie Kirk. They're like, I want a successful youth conservative event. Turning Point is a successful. Let's do a Turning Point event. So it has like this
cracking me up when you guys were sending me the clips. I was like,
it has like
they just literally ripped off
like
Amfest.
Same backstage area, same shape to like the room,
the sparklers
same
going.
fireworks, same like synthwave color scheme, like like it's out of the 80s sort of.
And the funny part is right at the end they're going USA. USA. They even wanted to copy
They had the
America.
booths. I remember going through those, and it was great.
Exhibitor hall.
They had the exhibitor hall, and some of them were very Korean. But one that I got a kick out of it was like the 1776 Institute, and it was a Korean like U.S. fan club. It's like, what you can learn from the American founders and how awesome they are. And I was like, yes,
yeah.
Well, this was amazing though. You told me the story how everybody at this Korean event, they were invited to come close to the stage.
So amazing.
And they just started singing and praying over Charlie, which was interesting, like full circle moment, because some of the worship leaders at the event for Charlie's memorial sang that same song. And it was basically like 2 weeks to the day later that the song that these Koreans were worshiping and praying over Charlie that was ended up being sung at his memorial, but he put his hand on his heart, and you told me it was one of the few times you'd seen him get emotional.
Yeah, so they called him on stage. They said, we had one last gift for you, Charlie. And so he didn't know what it was, but he went out on stage, and she spoke to the crowd in Korean, then all of a sudden the piano starts playing, and starts, how great is our God. And they're singing it, and I keep saying, beauty transcends even language. Even though that song was in Korean, we all knew what song they were singing, and they came and then they were praying over him. They said something in Korean. They yelled it out loud, and a week and 2 weeks later, 2 weeks and 2 days later, that song would be sung at Charlie's memorial, with everybody giving their hearts. To the Lord.
It warms my heart knowing that he had this overflowing of like the Holy Spirit and God and prayer that he got to just bask in and feel the love in that way. And so it's comforting.
Yeah. And so other exciting things that we got to do is Blake was our tour guide, and he took us, what was the palace? Gyeongbok.
Was it Gyeongbokgung?
Yeah, Gyeongbokgung Palace.
I'll confess, Korean syllables kind of all just, it's like syllable gore to me, so I can't ever remember. Let me make sure I got that right.
We fit in so much stuff
Gyeongbokgung
just into
Palace.
one day. We went to the DMZ, so North Korea, and then he also...
We have that clip.
Yeah, we do. And then we have Blake taking us to the palace. I think we should play the palace clip, 298. Blake, I'm sorry about this one.
Mikey struggle busting.
He's all like, it's so hot. I can't be cool like the security guys who have full suits. Or Blake, who's got his ridiculous Macy's blazer.
I was gonna say, like you've gotten more mileage out of that blazer than anything I've ever seen in my life.
It's a great blazer. People like it.
Buy you a couple blazers.
But this is
wear them because that's the iconic.
It's my favorite blazer.
I know,
it's nice. People comment on it and
no matter
stuff.
what the occasion, like where's the Macy's blazer?
Heck yeah.
So I think Charlie secretly had a plan to be a tourist that day and to walk the city, but he didn't tell us that message. So we came downstairs in our suits, fully ready for an event. He came down in gym shorts and a t-shirt.
And his long socks.
We were sweating through 90% humidity.
Every time we'd get to something, he'd just be like, Blake, tell us about this.
That's right.
So, yeah, we were at the palace, and I'm like, okay, yeah, we got the palace. This is the hall where they would do the Confucian scholarship stuff.
I want to see this one, 297 with the DMZ. I want to see because I didn't actually know he went there, so that's great. 297.
North Korea.
Okay, everybody, welcome to North Korea. So this is literally North Korea, Blake. Yep. You ever seen it before?
Say that I have.
Yeah, so originally we were supposed to go to the DMZ portion where Trump shook Kim Jong-un's hand, and I'm going to put him on blast, but the United Nations canceled Charlie, didn't allow us to go.
Wow.
So we were scheduled to go, so we had to go to that lookout point, which was really exciting still, so glad we got that.
Yeah, you got to see it.
Something else that's really interesting is when we were at that Build Up Korea event, Charlie was meeting with all these pastors backstage. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
And there's Pastor Son, S-O-N. And Charlie was talking to him, he was talking about politics from the pulpit, which you can't do during election season in Korea, but he was doing it anyways. And Charlie's like, let me take a picture with you. So he took the picture, and we left Korea. 2 days after we left Korea, the pastor was arrested and is in jail right now for...
No way.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Because
Yes,
you can't, we have the picture up there. That was 2 days after they arrested that pastor. He's in jail right now for talking about politics from the pulpit. It's just crazy.
Louise.
So after Korea, we ran over to Japan. And Blake, you've been to Korea and Japan before so you're
Korea.
Kind of our fans.
So the context was I got to Korea early because I had that friend's wedding. So I kind of got used to the city. And then Japan I had been to before in 2019. So very basic amount of experience. We had a very good friend of the show, Rio, who he's been this Charlie super fan for a while. Yep. I remember coming to the 2022 AmFest, and he was there. So he's been a friend of ours, and he's worked with us and stuff. And so he kind of helped pave the way for this visit. And then he was like showing us around, and it was so great. I think we have a photo of him. It's when
we do, but there's one video that I want to play that's amazing. $2.99 if we have time.
Yeah, play it.
Totally getting this for Gigi. This is very offensive. Totally getting this for Gigi. Okay.
Hello, Kitty.
Blake, was that the Don Koto? Was that the one that you took us into?
Yeah. And I don't know if that one was the Hello Kitty thing. I think that was just like a little side thing we were stepping into. I think.
All right. Well, more exclusive behind the scenes, never before seen videos from Charlie's Asia trip coming up. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back. So Charlie bought a Hello Kitty doll
for his family.
And by the way, explain this. Like, did people recognize him in Japan at all? Or
they did. Not
usually foreigners who were also there, but there was at least one guy from Japan who did recognize him, and a lot of Koreans recognized him.
Actually, there was that group of kids, remember, in Tokyo? They came up to him. They're like,
those were Korean, I believe. Those were Japanese kids.
Yeah, they were. So... yeah. So the only time Charlie would stop, again, 90% humidity, 95 degrees outside. It was terrible. We're in suits. We're sweating.
We were soaked.
And he doesn't stop.
Well, and I just want to make a note on that. I've said it before, but it bears repeating. When I first started working with Charlie, he would run like 7 or 10 miles in a day. Yeah. And then eventually hurt his back, and so it would just walk. So he would do these long walks, and he would walk fast. Yeah. He walked very fast. He had very long legs.
So the only time he would stop was if it was at the coffee shop, which we went to, Blake, or if it was to get a gift for his family, which you saw in that last clip. But 282, the clip of us in the coffee shop. Do you remember this, Blake?
Yes. Yeah.
Let's do that one.
Oh, do we have no
sound? No sound.
Yeah. Well, we'll narrate it. We're in a coffee shop. Charlie I think he got a hot tea.
Play that again. I want to see what it is. He got a hot tea. He would.
He was so happy, giving the thumbs up.
Look at you and your camera skills, Mike.
It was the only place with AC.
I just love. Yeah, we're wandering. It's super hot, and it's this kind of a Bukchon Hanak village is kind of what they call it. It's more traditional looking buildings in Seoul, and there's all those back alleys, and it was just so great. It was like. Yeah, there's big stores here, but you can also just step into any alley and there'll be all these places. Yes. And then there was this little coffee shop, and it was great. We could just step in. They had no idea who we were, and I think Charlie absolutely enjoyed, being an activist on a big scale, but I think he also enjoyed that he could actually wander around Seoul and not be spotted by everyone.
You mentioned in your thread on X that you because one of Charlie's big missions was restoring the family, increasing marriage, and having babies. And he was even taking that message to Seoul in South Korea. But you said it was kind of, you guys noticed as you were walking around the lack of children.
Actually, at that event, there was a bunch of babies in the back. That was the
really?
only place
That's
I saw the
amazing.
kids.
Oh, maybe the churches.
It was really. It would stand out because, for example, you'd get on the subway. Which did Charlie ever actually ride on the train? You just walked through a station. But yeah, I went on the trains, and every subway car has like 2 or 4 pink seats that are for pregnant women, and I'm not sure I ever saw one of them occupied. But
you said they would line up.
Yes. Oh, that was
at the
when it
doors.
was really busy. They'd get in lines where the things would stop, and you could tell where it would stop because it kind of had a very precise little window that it would be at. And they would have, it would basically be 3 people wide, and they would get 2 parallel lines with a path in the middle for the people who were going to get out. And not only would they do that, they get on and off the train in that orderly way. Like once the train was kind of just getting a little too full, the people would just stop. And they would wait for the next train. Like they did not actually pack to the gills where like you're maximizing the number of people in there.
Yeah, interesting.
And Blake, the Han, everything's Han. And then you were explaining this to me and Charlie. And when we were at the palace, they had all these get-ups.
Yeah, the Hanbok, I think. Yeah, Hanbok. I think Han basically just means Korean or like people, basically, which is funny because it's the same word in Chinese. So they both call themselves Han in their language. But so Hanbok is like Korean dress, and it's
I think we have that clip.
Are they
we
showing
do.
that?
That's the clip.
Yeah.
So the women would wear these dresses, and the men had these kind of top hats. It almost looked like
It looks very cool. I was so heartbroken. I was because I went to my friend's wedding, and like you can wear hanbok to a wedding, and I was like I should have done it, and I didn't. I wussed out.
Did you wear your Macy's blazer?
I think
yes.
I wager money he did.
Yeah.
So
it looks beautiful though, and that's in Korea. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's in Korea. Oh, and at this palace, they have this. You have to buy for entry, buy a ticket for entry. But if you show up in a hanbok, you can get in for free.
Just walk in.
So if we had more time, I think Blake and I would have gotten in the garb.
So did you see kids? Just at church. You said you saw these like empty playgrounds.
Yeah, so there was like a playground there's a big Korean War like museum monument, and I went to it, and there was a very nice playground next to it, but it was totally deserted. It also had a very fun sign that had all the different fines you could receive if you broke the rules, like if you captured and tamed an animal, that was one of them. And it had a little fun photo where it was like this man with the kind of little gnome thing.
I love it. Okay. Asia is quite the place. It really is. Like I know that it's not monolithic. There are very stark distinctions, but in general, it is sort of like very, very alien to me. All right. We will welcome back radio in just a few seconds. Don't go anywhere. Erica Kirk will be joining us in about 10 minutes. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Charlie Kirk Show, radio stations across the country. We are going through some never-before-seen clips of Charlie in Asia, his last trip he took. Go ahead, Mikey.
When we first arrived, it was 4:15 a.m.
Which country?
Korea.
Okay.
And Charlie wanted to do something because he wanted to make the most of the time. So at 4:45 a.m., he wanted to go see the MacArthur statue, which is the biggest.
So when you
MacArthur
fly into
statue.
Korea, you land at Incheon International Airport.
Yeah.
And Incheon is, during the Korean War, a very important battle is fought there where we're losing the Korean War. We're at the bottom end of Korea. And General Douglas MacArthur, he does this very daring maneuver where he sails 200 miles north behind the North Koreans, and he lands at Incheon.
Yep.
And so
that was the landing. And Charlie loved MacArthur. He was one of Charlie's heroes. So the first thing he wanted to do was go see that statue. So this is clip 287. It's playing right there. And Charlie was
no sound.
He's walking up. He goes, wow, I wish we had statues like this in America. And he walks up to the statue. And Blake, if you could read this, he reads these words out loud.
There is no boundary in justice, nor is there any obstacle to struggle, mountain, or sea. A man who executed such a struggle in the spirit of justice, to the triumph of the cause of the free world, and to the gratitude and admiration of mankind, is the man whom this statue represents.
Wow.
Says that out loud. And
wow. Well, Charlie's going to get statues in his honor.
I know, but it was just beautiful.
He
I thought that
deserves.
moment.
He deserves them. We have some other clips here. We have the Tokyo event, free speech, people, principal, place, mass immigration. Which one you want, Mikey?
I think we should do the mass immigration.
All right, let's
Blake?
let's do mass immigration. It's kind of a longer clip, but
is it?
Let's see. Do we not have it loaded? I don't know. Maybe we don't have it loaded, but we will get it. But it's funny actually seeing him with the earpiece on for translation.
That was fun. Oh, actually, they are so organized. Like, do you remember this? They have this like platter, almost like a silver platter that they put the microphone on. And so when it was Charlie's turn to speak, they kind of walk up to him and they just present this mic to him on his platter.
The other thing I remember that was so funny was like just the way they're so deliberate about things. Like we had that meal and like Charlie just wanted to eat fast, but it was like a Chinese restaurant that was like one thing at a time. And he just after 2 courses, he's like, I'm out, goes and takes a nap.
He loved it. All right, this is a longer clip, but let's do it. 306.
Let's do it.
In America, mass immigration was one of the defining issues that propelled President Trump towards election in both 2016 and 2024. But it was very simple. We asked a series of questions. In America, we said, do you want your hometown to be more people that speak Spanish or English? It was very simple. You see, a nation is also, the globalists seek to eliminate the 3 Ps by getting rid of borders, language, and culture. So a very simple question that I would ask here in Japan that I mentioned in my speech, do you want school children in Japan to learn Japanese? The language. Of course you do, right? But not Arabic. And we laugh, but you know what? People in London would have laughed 40 years ago in an event just like this. And yet more people are going to speak Arabic in London in 20 years from now than today. So you have to make it very real, very tangible. The problem is that Tokyo is so nice and that Japan is so great that you're almost in a place where it's very easy to be apathetic. Oh, this will never happen here. We've stood the test of time. Remember they said the sun would never set on the British Empire. I'm sure you've remembered hearing that before. It wasn't war that took down the British Empire. It wasn't any of the other conflicts. It was mass immigration that took down the British Empire. So you must enter with a sense of cautiousness, but also immediacy to communicate in real language, that in real words, that this can have a very serious impact on what people care about most.
There's right after that speech, he did a reporter with CNN did an interview. Blake made a joke, no matter where you are in the world, CNN's still CNN. And she said, don't you feel like your speech was a little xenophobic? And Charlie goes, listen, I think we can both agree. If we import 40 million Pakistanis into Japan, Japan's not Japan anymore. And she goes, okay, yeah, you're right. Okay, fine.
Yeah, and people are commenting, that's the slowest I've ever heard CK talk. And it's like, well, he had to speak slow so the translators could translate him. So he's being very deliberate in his pacing. Because normally, Charlie could rattle off things pretty quickly. And we're all accustomed to like editing clips and listening to things at 2x speed. So that was extraordinarily slow for my ear. But we are going to take a break. Erica Kirk is joining us next, so we're going to take the break to get her situated in studio. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.